I was thinking after the last video, what would be a good follow-up, and suddenly it hit me, what good is working in the garden and all of the heat and weeding and fighting the bugs and everything else if you don't do anything with it? If you just let it go to rot, it doesn't really work. So since I've had such a really bumper crop this year of terrific tomatoes, I thought I'd show you how I do a basic tomato sauce. Tomato all seeded, nice consistency, ready to go to make our sauce. But first we need to finely dice about half an onion. There is no fixed recipe for that. It's just kind of, recipes are just a guideline. You kind of go with them and then adjust from there. Some people like more of a particular ingredient, others like less. So if one person's perfect may not be great for the other, so just kind of use them as a guideline as you go through different recipes and experiment. It's a great way to learn what flavors work together. About 4 little cloves of garlic. Just finely slice it, and we're gonna put it in our sauce this way. I've found this works quite well for me. Now that we've got our onions and garlic all cooked and ready, we can start. First, get our trusty old pot. Now here, it's really important to get a heavy bottom pot like a Dutch oven. It helps even out the heat and prevent them from burning as the sauce is cooking. Start out by letting the pan heat up a little bit, and right away you don't even have to let the pan heat up. In this case, we're going to add roughly a 1/4 cup of oil, and then immediately or right away add the onions and let them heat up with the pan. We just want to get them translucent with maybe just a hint of a little brown on the edge, just so they're starting to get sweet. That'll be an indication that it's ready to add the garlic. Garlic doesn't take quite as long, so we add that after the onions are ready. They're starting to toast now, just little hints of brown on some of the pieces of onion, and the rest of them are pretty translucent here. We'll add our garlic. Let it cook for just a minute or so. Again, just enough to soften. It'll cook more once the sauce starts. I throw in just a little bit of kosher salt, sea salt if you got it, and that helps to bring some of the moisture out of the onions. After the onions and garlic have cooked for a while, we want to add, for the quantity I did, which is about 2 28-ounce cans worth of tomatoes, I use 1 can of tomato paste, about 6.5 ounces in the most of the cans here in the States. And that'll serve to kind of thicken it up and give it a nice color too. So just stir the sauce around till it starts browning just a little bit. Ours is starting to brown up a little bit right now, which means it's ready to add the sauce that we so carefully de-seeded earlier. Now there's a lot of liquid in here, so be careful not to let it splash too much, and just slowly add it to the base that you've got in there with the sauce. I'm sorry, with the paste. Stir it up nice, turn your heat down. And we want to just bring this to a low simmer, and we're going to let it sit and simmer for this quantity again, maybe 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Hi. Well, it's been about 45 minutes now, and as you can see, the sauce is nice, just beautiful consistency. Just the tomatoes have broken down, leaving us little pieces of tomato, but yet not solid enough so it would feel chunky when you bite into. Just a real nice sauce. So we're gonna turn it off and let it cool down. Now that our sauce is cooled off, it's time to freeze it for when we want to use it. One of the main ways people use it is in one of the freezer containers made by any of the plastic tub manufacturers that you find at any of the big box stores. Simply ladle it out, spoon it in there, put the lid on, and freeze it. First mark it, make sure you put the date on it so you know how long it's been in your freezer, and it'll stay in the freezer for quite a while. But I want to show you a better way, one way I discovered. At the expense of maybe sounding like a commercial, I want to show you this way because it's really worked unbelievably well for me and has really extended how long you can keep something in your freezer, because it removes all the air and any chance of freezer burn from it. This is a food saver. It's made to completely remove the air from any packaging that you make. It really works well. You get these bags, even have a place so you can date and describe what it is in there, and it works unbelievably well even for liquids. I generally put maybe 2 to 4 cups in. This is a ½ cup ladle. First we take the bag and pull it in through the opening, and once it gets squared it automatically starts. It's on moist, and as it sees the moisture coming up, it shuts. And right now it's heating. Pretty soon you hear a little sound, tells you when it's done sealing, and the red light will go off. There it is. That's all there is to it. I now have a fully heat sealed bag, which we then lay flat and put in the freezer. Well, there you have it. A nice basic tomato sauce, all ready for you to use whenever you feel, right out of the freezer. Make it into a little bit of oregano, maybe a little basil. You've got a terrific pasta sauce, or pretty much as is, you've got a nice basic sauce for your pizza next time. Hopefully you've learned something. I know I sure had fun learning how to do this originally, and right now nothing's better to me than a nice homemade pizza in the middle of the winter. But let me know what you think. Let me know what else you want to hear about, that I can maybe say what I've learned, either out in the garden, what I'm growing, how I'm doing it, or even in the kitchen, what I've done with what I've made. Both of them are really fun for me. I really enjoy sharing this with you. I don't pretend to be an expert or any of the above, but as I'm learning this, I want to share so somebody else can skip over the bumps that I did. Hope it works for you. Once again, this is Steve Howard. Hope to see you next time. Please comment down below. It really helps. Join, subscribe. See you later.